I'm Tim Selwood. I am now an ambassador for the Trust. We had a family company, Selwoods, contractors, plant engineers. My brother and I that both went into the company. My father, though, died at the age of 56, so we then had to sell the company, and that went to buy Furzy Gardens. My brother was a brilliant engineer. He was a really, truly wonderful person. He had started flying, had his own aircraft, and he was going on a business trip to the west coast of Wales with a co-director. And flying back from the west coast, they came on unexpected harsh weather and came up against the power lines and had to do an avoiding action which resulted in the plane stalling and coming down in the forest. So the plane was lost. Didn't come home the next day, and I got on to the RAF and we got an aircraft out searching. And eventually the tailplane was seen sticking up out of the trees at Neath in Margam Park, where my father was born. It was such a strange thing to happen. We'd insured each other's lives for a lot of money, and we'd only been paying the premium for a few months. The insurance company weren't very keen to pay it out, but they actually refused because they said he hadn't declared he was flying. And so we had a wonderful insurance broker, and he went through his papers and he rang me up and said, "I've just found a note of a telephone conversation written on a scrap of paper with the insurers. It just says, Mr. Peter flying." Those 3 words. And on that they paid out. And on such small things, great events can hang. So his propeller is outside here in the grounds. There's a reminder that also out of tragedy, great things can grow. I think he would be very pleased now to see how much was started in his name. I still have an indelible memory of severely learning disabled people eating out of dustbins in a yard which I was working in, basically scrounging out of dustbins. And even now, over 50 years later, I can still see it quite clearly, that picture of these people. I'd recognise their faces now, I think, after all that time. Where we're sitting, Minstead Lodge, is really the headquarters. And that goes back to 1975, and what's grown up from that are some social enterprises, one of which is Furzy Gardens. We have an arts centre, Hanger Farm, which is in Totton, and we have premises in Portsmouth, where the Trust has been a trailblazer in getting people out of an institutional frame of mind and into the community. We have drop-in centres around the area and also supported tenancies in the town where people get support varying on what their needs are and integrating them well into the community. And it's grown exponentially. In one way, not a surprise, in the other, extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. In 1986, Martin Lennox came to us.
We were offered a field, a shed and a minibus, and it was basically a day service.
He was responsible for the growth here from community to a deeply caring and professionalised organisation for advancing the needs of learning disabled people. They're going to get let out.
You know, although Tim was always there to oversee. He was always there, as it were, to serve.
How do you start it, David? Yeah. That's great. For somebody who so much of the world doesn't value, to cherish that, to cherish them, to value them, to give them that respect. I don't have any formal role, but I still feel I'd like to put my wings out a little bit and protect what's going on.